You are listening to the Pro Organizers Coach podcast. I'm Samantha Brown, a professional organizer and business coach. In this podcast, you will learn how to start and scale the organizing business of your dreams. So let's jump in. Welcome back to the Pro Organizers Coach podcast. On today's episode, I just wanted to come on real quick and say thank you to all of the women that came to the Support Equals Success coaching program yesterday. It went so good. There were actually a few common themes through all of the groups, and so I wanted to come on here and kind of go over those real quickly so you all know what's going on the Zoom meetings. Also, make sure to go to proorganizerscoach.com/support and fill out the link so you can get notified for our next meeting, which is November 30th, and I will have different options of times throughout the day based on where you are in your business. But honestly, if the only time you can come is a time that is a different group than what you feel like you're in, still go ahead and come, because I would love for you all to see how these groups are going while they're still free. The point of these groups is to kind of have almost like a real estate office, like the way real estate professionals are their own boss, they're independent, they work on their own, but then they have a common place they can come to get support and to bounce ideas and to talk about what they're going through and to get advice from fellow real estate professionals. And I think I know that's what we're lacking in the professional organizing world and industry. So that is what we are growing. Our meetings that will be bi-weekly for coaching. There will also be lots of other things in the membership once we launch this thing after the new year. But for now, point is that we are having free coaching calls bi-weekly on Wednesdays. There will be 3 left that are free. So make sure you go sign up to that and come to at least one of them so you can see what these are all about. And because I want to make sure as we are building this program out and this membership out that it's something you all actually need and that you all are wanting. All right. So real quick, let's talk about a few of the things that were common throughout all of the groups. We talked about goals, we talked about accountability, we talked about giving ourselves grace. One of the things that actually kept getting brought up is self-sabotage. So I don't know if you're feeling like you do that, at least on some level inside of yourself. You know, sometimes we want to be successful, but then there's this side of us that's like, well, what if? What if that client calls? What if I get my first client? What if someone responds to what I'm putting out there? And what I would like to say is, what if? If they do, you will take a breath, you will have a conversation, it will be okay. You will explain who you are, what you do, and how you can help them. Always, always, always remember to ask them, what is it that they need? How is it that you can help them? That's what you're there to do, is to help them in their lives. They are reaching out because they are at a pain point somewhere in their life. There's something that is giving them stress. And so you are there to alleviate that for them. It's just a conversation. It's okay if you get the job. It's okay if you don't get the job. I know sometimes feeling like, oh, what happens when I do get my first job? What happens when, they call, we have a good conversation, and then they actually hire me? Now what? Well, I want you to know that for one, if you need to email me and ask me a quick question, or you need to go over into our Facebook group and ask a question, we will always respond to you. Secondly, I'm offering coaching for anyone that is needing a one-on-one coaching session. You will be able to find the links in the show notes below. If you need more of that one-on-one support and need to bounce ideas and need to talk this through for your specific problems for a whole hour, undivided attention just for you. Also, that is where these groups are coming in, right? Like if you're able to come and talk to just a handful of women, I'm not going to allow these to get too big because I want each person to have time to talk about what's going on for them. So probably like 5 people per group. And then of course me and Janelle. But the point is, don't be shy. Don't think, oh, well, it's just another one of those groups that someone from a podcast is having, and I'm going to go on there and it's not going to matter. I'm not going to be heard. No, it doesn't matter if I show up or not, because it does matter if you show up. I am building this for you. If you are listening to this, then I am building this program and this membership for you. It's what I wish I would have had when I was first getting started, or just getting clients, or starting my team, not my team, but you know what I mean? Like all of those times in our lives and in our business that we just wish we had someone to bounce ideas off of or to enjoy our successes with us even. Forget the pain point times. What about the times that we're like, oh my gosh, I did get that client, or I did do my job right, or look at this, pantry that I organized. And you tell your husband or your friends or your kids, and they look at you like, what do you mean? Like, I don't get it. And so those are the things that I want us to share and to become a family and a community and a support system, a sisterhood for one another. So if you feel like that is something that you would enjoy and that you are lacking in your life, then please, please, please go fill out the link, proorganizerscoach.com/support. The link will also be in the show notes. Go fill out that quick form and make sure to set your calendar for November 30th to come to one of our coaching programs. Now, real quick, let me finish on what we kind of went through yesterday. Another thing besides the self-sabotage was also goals. We talked about how do you know that you're actually getting momentum and doing the correct things in your business for you that are going to actually move the needle forward compared to, oh, that's a distraction. When someone is speaking to me and we are talking, and if I can ask a few questions, normally we can kind of get a rhythm going where one of us is going to figure out, is that a distraction or is that going to help? Or even if it's not me and it's someone else in the group, which is what I loved about what happened yesterday, is even if I personally have not been there or did not have the answers, someone did that it was in that group. Or multiple people were like, hey, well, what have you thought about this? Or what about doing this? Or, hey, I've done this in my business and it worked really well. My point being is that I want you all to have that. I want to have that. Yesterday, I came away with so many new ideas for my organizing business. So yes, make sure that you come is the point to the next one, November 30th. And then if you can't make that one, the other 2 dates that we will be having these that they will still be free is December 14th. And then the very last one that will be free is December 28th. So make sure to mark those Wednesdays on your calendar to set aside 1 hour of your time to be able to come to one of these meetings, because I want you to see what it is like before the beginning of the year, because once the beginning of the year hits, we're launching the membership and it will no longer be free. So go fill out the link. Make sure to set in your calendar aside either November 30th, December 14th, and December 28th of 2022. So real quick, I wanted to let you know we are probably going to get rid of the seasoned part and just break this into 2 types of groups. So the 2 groups moving forward will be getting started and growth. You are in getting started if you are from the idea phase all the way up to I've had maybe a few clients, but I'm not working with clients consistently. Anywhere in between there, you're still in the getting started phase because we want to help you build. And then you're in the growth phase if you're starting to build that momentum of multiple clients. From that point on is where you are still wanting to grow. So that's the growth meetings. And then we'll just forget the whole seasoned thing. No big deal. That's what I wanted for this. I wanted it to evolve into what it needed to be, not what I wanted it to have. Oh, which reminds me, that was the thing I came on here to tell you all. So the biggest theme from yesterday was when we try to force our business and grab it around the neck and be like, this is what you're going to be. You're going to grow into this. This is what's going to happen. It has to be perfect. It has to be what I want it to be. If it's not exactly how I want it, it's not perfect and I'm no good. If we're grabbing our business around the neck and forcing it to do those things, we're going to kill everything we're trying to actually build. But if we can just realize that done is better than perfect and that everything we do is about relationships and helping people, like when we remember that and we stay true to who we are on the inside, this thing can flourish like it is supposed to. In business, you have to be able to ebb and flow. as things come. And so forget making it perfect. It doesn't have to be amazing. Even if you don't have a website at this point, fine. But start, telling people who you are and what you can do to help them. Get a couple clients that, you can ask them for reviews, and you can ask to do the before and after photos for maybe some sort of either discount or trade-off, whatever you want. Go into moms groups on Facebook and say, hey, are any of you willing to come let me organize, your kitchen cupboards or your kids' playroom? And in return, if you will give me some reviews and a testimonial and let me do the before and after photos, I can do it for $50 instead of what would cost you $200. To where you get something for it, but it's cheaper. When my kids were younger, if I had seen that on a mom's Facebook group, like, oh my gosh, this woman would come do that for me and the price is $50, sold. So that way you don't feel like you're doing it for free. You still feel like it's worth your time, but you're also getting what else you need back in return. And you're getting the practice of talking with a client, working with a client, where if you mess up, it's okay. It is okay. Everything's going to work itself out. You are going to be fine. And I just thank you for listening to Pro Organizers Coach. I hope that I'm building this into everything that you need it to be. Again, if you have any ideas, thoughts, if you want to do a one-on-one coaching session, all of the ways to find me are in the show notes below. Make sure to show up on one of those 3 days while it is still free so you can see what this thing is and help us build it. I'm so excited. I'm so thankful to all of you that listen. This thing is growing like I didn't expect it to. And I'm so grateful because I knew that women wanted this and needed this connection and support and community for each other. So I love you all. I am praying for you all. I hope you have a very blessed day, and I will see you on November 30th. You have been listening to the Pro Organizers Coach podcast. Go to the show notes to find all of the links mentioned in this episode and hit that subscribe and automatic download button so you don't miss a single thing. Thanks for listening.